While the while loop is the most easy to use loop, it's not really the most commonly used one because it's not as powerful as the for loop, which I'm going to show you now. The for loop, which the keyword is for, you loop through data which is in an array of some sort. So you could have it looping through files, which I'll show you later on in the course, or you could have it looping through a list, which I'll show you now. And so what we have here is for data in, and then we have the list. And what we're going to do is just going to print data. And if we run through this, what you'll see is that we get 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, each one on a new line. And the reason for that is simply because we have a new piece of information being listed each time we run through the list. The first one it finds is 1, and then it moves to the next one, which is 2, 3, 4 and 5 and so on. Now a string is also treated as an object, and so we could have it changed to be string, and what that will do is it will go through each of these letters. So we have string, and that is the data. So each one of these will be treating this object, no matter what it is, whether it's a string, whether it is a list, whether it is an object, which, for example, a file, and you could go through it one line at a time or one word at a time. You can go through it in many different ways. There's many different ways in which you can list things, and the best way of doing this sort of thing is usually where you use the key and the value, and you use the key to control the object in some way. However, this is not built into Python directly, and so what we have to do instead is we have to do another little workaround, which is where we have to put a function around the object, which is called enumerate, and we have to change this to be key and data. Now, if we get rid of this data here, what we're going to change here is we're going to make it so it outputs every single letter that is even in an even key. It starts at 0 and works its way up. So if key mod 2, so if it is divisible by 2 with no remainder, because that equal to 0 means that there's no remainder, then that means it's going to be even. So what we're going to do then is we're going to print out each of these values. So I'm going to do, actually I'll change that slightly and do the letter is in an even location, and dot format, and here we're going to put data. And if we run through this, you'll see you get the letter S, R, N. So S, 0, that's even, R is number 2, and N is number 4, sorry, it's number 4, because an index starts at 0, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so if we change that to strings, then we would get the SRNS. So that is how you check for something to be even, and likewise, if you put that as a 1, then it would check for it to be odd. And that is how you loop through things whilst being able to control the key and the data that you get from that. Those two are always going to be the same as the location in the actual string. So the key here is going to be, say, 0, and the data is going to be the S. That is how the key data for loops work. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.